The Conservative Political Action Conference underway, and Nancy Pelosi giving them a whole lot to talk about. Roll tape.
What you're doing is cutting the taxes at the high end and therefore not being allowed to invest in the future. You're doing a grave disservice to our country. Some patriotic.
Pelosi will hold a news conference later today on the, quote, consequences of that GOP tax scam. Matt Schlapp, American Conservative Union Chairman, joins us now. Matt, what's your reaction when you see Nancy Pelosi? Because she's digging deeper and deeper on this one.
Unpatriotic. Basically, we're un-American if we believe that when you work really hard and you listen to that alarm clock, Charles, and you get up early and you work hard all day, that you're unpatriotic if you want to hold on to more of that money to take care of your family. This is a disgraceful charge. And this is where when the American people see how radical the Democrats are and Nancy Pelosi is, that they really want to take the wealth from people who are working hard and just give it away to everyone else. I don't think the American people are for it.
Well, you know, it's politics of envy, right? To say, hey, you might be getting something, but it's crumbs because someone else is getting more. I think that does a disservice to anybody out there, particularly to your point, people who are working very hard. But what about this, Matt? We're actually seeing a lot of things on the progressive, so-called progressive agenda. Paid maternity leave, paid sick leave. Companies are setting up educational and retraining services, all because of the tax cuts.
Yeah, Walmart had a big announcement on giving help to people who are adopting kids. Other companies are following suit and doing more on paid family leave. Look, it's companies making a decision on how they want to retain the best people on their workforce. And that's exactly the type of reforms we want to see. When Washington dictates these reforms, it's not the right way to do it. It's the right way when companies compete over having the best work environment.
So you've got the markets working pretty well, the economy firing on all cylinders, and the tax cut has been extraordinarily successful. We know that those are things that are going to be talked about, but also this Florida shooting is a huge deal. You've got the students from Parkland who caught buses yesterday. They're going to be in Tallahassee today. President Trump is going to meet with survivors, I think, of Parkland and some other recent shooting incidents. It feels like real change. How does CPAC, a conservative organization strongly behind the Second Amendment, deal with this issue?
You deal with it in a straightforward manner, Charles, and you talk about what's at stake. Nobody, not the NRA, not anybody wants to see these horrible shootings. Nobody wants to see victims of violence. It's the fact that our society is getting more violent that has me the most alarmed. It's not just about guns. It's about all the ways in which people who want to do us harm can have the ability to do it. And I'm also troubled by the fact that, you know, it just seems like there are darker and darker people. And I think we got to reach out to them. I think we got a lot of soul searching to do as a country. We're going to talk about these things on our CPAC stage. I think conservatives have to be open to what's happening in society. And I actually think a lot of people of faith lead the way when we're in these dark times.
All right. Also, before I let you go, speaking of faith, Matt, I do want to ask you your thoughts on the passing of Reverend Billy Graham.
What a great man. I mean, to a lot of us, he was the exemplar in what a religious figure, what a Christian leader should be. He was someone who would minister after Democrats and Republicans, after conservatives, after liberals, because in his view, Jesus had no zip code and Jesus had no party identification. And I think it's a great loss for the country, but I have a feeling he's in a much better place.
All right, Matt Schlapp, thank you very much. Really appreciate it.
Thanks, Charles.